Danke ngiyabonga. Welcome to Enkundleni Exclusive. My name is Sipome Sentinyati, and this is a show by Deb3 Events, whereby we are focusing on interesting personalities within the city of Bulawayo and the beloved nation of Zimbabwe and the whole Southern African region as a whole, or even the world superstars. We are going to reach out to you. This show focuses on people who are movers and shakers, people who are touching our lives and making a difference. I hope you're going to definitely like it. Like the page and also subscribe, and also definitely share it with your friend. Danke ngiyabonga. Danke ngiyabonga. Welcome to Enkundleni Exclusive from all the four corners of planet Earth. Sesikhona esitayeleni baba, and lamhlanje vele ngathi angizwakali sengikhona njalo. And what I'm saying to you is this show Enkundleni Exclusive is the Info show, the hardest show in the nation, the hardest show in Africa, and it's a show by Deb3 Events and also by ORG Media. And lamhlanje esitayeleni I got the main man, the male artist of the year, MSIZKAY. Danke ngiyabonga.
Awe zikhiphan lapho
uyiswikazi.
Mnandi mina kazi, mnandi mina.
Umnandi wabo, umnandi.
You know lama award.
Hey, mfana uzwakali mfana. And the winner is MSIZKAY. Kangaki mfana.
Hayi man, kumele kuthi ngokusaqala man. Lapho siyaqeda khona ukuthi sefika kuma Afrima, kuma BET, kuma Grammy.
Yes, that's the vision.
Yeah man.
Kuyahamba kazi.
Kuyahamba kazi, just got named outstanding male artist of Bulawayo, 2021. Yeah, it's been a busy year, it's been a good year.
It's been a busy year.
Yeah.
Lockdown, no lockdown. You've been working, cuz.
Kuphela,
Ubushaya imratha bula engoma, kumnandi usebenza.
Consistency, batsho njalo bro, bathi consistency.
Yeah. Were you expecting our level?
Hey, to tell you the truth, I always tell myself ukuthi I know man, a nomination is a win, yabo. Because ngibengithe ngikhangela laphana ama category lawana benzima lawana.
Ufiwa labantu kwathi ulabe style.
And wonke umuntu besebenza bro. Everyone works, everyone puts in the work. Uthi ngawona usebenza ngapha in your little corner of the world, yabona. Yabuzithi I'm blind, yabo. But you should also be aware of umsebenzi wenziwa ngabanye, because everyone works, puts in the work. So it's an honor. It's really an honor ukuthi ube nguwe njani oqanjwayo ukuthi hayi le ithethwe nguwe, yabo.
Le ithathwa nguwe, and lay on the same lokuzeni ngesingayi on the same category.
On the same category now is 2 years in a row, yabo.
Ulokusiba male artist of the year.
Batsho njalo.
Okay. So wendoda last year sulokhu indoda futhi la this year suthi sona suyinkani.
Indoda.
Indoda. MSIZKAY over 2.8 million views on YouTube. My guy, Kafiwa.
Yeah, hey.
Kafiwa, how did you manage to pull that off on the song Happy?
Happy was a happy accident, yabona. Shout out to everyone who worked on that song, yabona. From Ndranky Daniels, Ndranky Daniels being a duo, Uvini and Ella, and it's a duo. They co-produce Bengu 2, and then Fancy Inc. also being a duo. 2 guys that produce Bengu 2, Brazilian super producers, amazing producers, and last but not least, shout out to Vintage Culture.
Okay.
Yeah, so that whole collaboration, because of all those names that were in there that came together and all that music, the beauty of the music that we made, yabo. It was inevitable. 2.8 to say it's just a drop in the ocean.
Look on the stylus on this. 2.8.
You know how the internet, man, can't trust the internet. But yeah, I'm using ngiyabongela, because
it's 2.8 and we're still counting on.
Yes. But I feel like really, that views siyabongela. But the song is doing much more than that, because we have got the views on YouTube, but we've got the streams on Spotify. It's over 3.6 million streams on Spotify.
Pinda foot.
Over 3.6 million streams on Spotify. We've got the streams on iTunes. We've got the streams on Deezer. The song has over 6 million. It has over 6 million streams worldwide on all the platforms. You understand? So it's big numbers. So yeah. It's a really big
So
joy.
akusocala ukuthi why unesicotho leso.
Yeah, so cala.
And these numbers at some point in time, looking back, years back, were you expecting what you uzayishale level ngayo?
Angangwazi, bro.
But
not to brag, but you know, it's always the hope ukuthi lento engiyenzayo. The vision mina for me has always been to take it as far as it can go worldwide. Yabo. Regionally, continentally, you know, internationally. Take the brand as far as it can go. The brand MSIZKAY, according to what I have seen and the music that I'm making and the responses as well from all over the world, I feel it's a brand engathengiseka, engathandwa loba ngapha emhlabeni, you know.
Okay.
It's not a brand engaba restricted to a certain area. Sithi aleng lo ngumfana wemagwegwe abaza consumer there. No.
Okay.
So simvalela in a small box boys there.
So I watched this video, was a bit emotional. What was the concept around it?
Oh, we're too happy. We're too happy. What we did is initially our the plan was to shoot the video in Brazil, but then unfortunately we had the lockdown. Yeah,
oh.
So and the COVID virus and whatnot, everyone was under lockdown everywhere. So the team that was working on the marketing for the song, they said they wanted a story that tells, that shows the happiness, you know, people going about their lives and just happy people, you know. Okay. Yeah. So that was the whole concept. So we enlisted to Corey to come aboard and shoot. Okay. So shout out to Corey because he shot that. You know? So we brought about that whole thing.
It's a very dope concept.
It's a very dope concept, yeah.
So how did you hook up with these niggas? Because when I checked Labana in our comment section, the only comment then this song makes me happy. The other any language. Excuse me. So tell me, how did you hook up with those people? And
I'm fluent in Portuguese, man.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. The first time I worked with Drunken Daniels was through a collaboration I did with them and KOT. Okay. Shout out to KOT in Pincham. You know, in Pincham, KOT, we've been friends for so long. An amazing producer. In my opinion, the best dance music producer I've ever met. Okay. You know, to ever grace the city of Kings. You know, KOT is an amazing producer. So he's so amazing that a record label that he was releasing with that's based in Portugal.
Okay.
Drunken Daniels was looking for someone to collaborate with in Africa. So Ceres Producers,
Africa.
In Africa.
Yes.
So Ceres Producers all the way in Portugal, then linked them with KOD to say, no, you guys, we know a guy for this Afro house vibe that you're going for. You would kill it with him, you know. So when they did that, they did that song Oktong Hello, you know, and then of course, obviously, I'm a vocal. So Melobelo was a faggy vocal, you know. So because me and KOT had known each other for so long, he was like, no, the guy would make this pop, like really pop. This is the guy. So he introduced me to Drunken Daniels, and then it was automatic from then on. You know. You know.
Okay.
So then they came back and said, no, we have this other project. Could you try something here? And then that's how we made Happy.
Oh, that's a dope project.
Yeah, well.
So, Kaz, tell me about you growing up in Sengobiza Kaz. Yeah. So tell me about you growing up in Magogo West. How is the come up there? Are you already playing around the music or?
No, growing up in music, but I did not see myself becoming like, you know, worldwide famous in music. Growing up, I was born in Pete Sampras. You know, because I used to play tennis for Ndebele.
Yes,
you know,
I got that and I was shocked.
Play tennis for Ndebele, and we'd go to Harare for tournaments, you know, stuff like that, representing Ndebele and stuff like that. We'd do all these tournaments. So for the longest time, I thought, no, Mina, Davis Cup. Also, you know. And, but along the way, somewhere, my knee started giving me some trouble, and then now masala abapuze kasi, you know. I'm fine. No.
So when a cause ungadlali ubhora lomphepha mzizi what wona vele usho what isukela kuphi ambition yakho le tennis at that point in time?
At that point in time, is primary school engafunda kuye
Okay.
JW Mthimkhulu, they installed a tennis course. I think when I was in grade 1 or 2. Yeah, but it's a city council school. So the city council yabuya enzani? Yafaka tennis courts on there. Yeah, so by the time I was grade 3, you were then eligible to start. Yeah, interested libuye yabo. So that's how I started. From very young.
So ububhanke esikolong nge-10 years.
Not even, bro. Not even. No. They would give you the time to actually do it properly, you know. Babe qakathekisa and babe, you know, something that they were encouraging a lot of students to do.
To do it. And now you managed to be part of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very fun.
I didn't see that one coming because I was shocked. Sis, from Makasana, he's playing tennis. How is that possible? I didn't see that one coming. And
crazy, ne?
It's very crazy. It's very crazy. And I heard
a lot. And you meet a lot of people. I remember we used to play with Matthew Fawcett, whose grandfather actually owned Fawcett's. We used to play with guys like Dashan Nakes, whose parents owned Nakes.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying. It was an opportunity to actually play a sport that was not really open to most people from Ngangangale town. Yeah, so it was a great opportunity to meet.
Rich Masalala.
My guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go music. What then flicks your switch?
So after I stopped playing tennis, I started writing poetry.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe had I not stopped playing tennis. So I started writing poetry. That was when I was in Form 3. Yabo, so Bali poetry learner some 2-3 years, and eventually the poems turned into songs. Yabo. So lucky enough, ngasenhlangana lo virus ke. Yabo. There was a guy oyehlale kaSlamotong with the virus, and he's in SA right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still making music even namhlanje. Amazing producer. The guy who was behind that Cooksman song Vumelani Sangoma.
The Women Ngube song.
Yeah, Women Ngube song.
Okay,
Yeah, that
okay.
guy, the virus.
Okay.
I think he was one of the producers on that track. Yeah, he produced my first, I think 5 songs or so. You know, so taught me a lot about, hey, my guy, hey, cool. You don't have to write the whole page, you know. 16 bars is ingaga. This is 16 bars, this is 12 bars. The recording studio, you know, let's go to the studio, go to Maseko ngale, you know, this is a microphone. You know, yeah, kanjalo. So I'm so glad to have met that guy, and what had the interest in saying, "Oh boy, there is something there. You have something there
that we can work on."
Yeah, let's work on this. Yeah,
by then, velu hlabele zothando, ungumlava already.
Not even.
Okay, by then uchazi mzangoma.
Not even. I was more of a conscious, you know, more free based on, you know, free my people, power to the people, you know. Yeah, chase your dreams. Let's motivate the people, because I think that's the core of what I do. At the end of the day, I want to leave a mark on the world. I inspired people, you know, to dream, to dare, to do more, you know.
Okay. So lapho vele ubhala ngama-rap owabhalayo by that time.
Serious stuff.
Uchange slogan isikhiwa.
Isikhiwa ndoda. Uzobona isikhiwa for the most part. I think ngaze ngaqala ukubhala ingoma yami yesiNdebele yokuqala ngayibhala ngo-2012. 2012 after having recorded my first song in 2010. Yeah.
Your first
ever track in 2010. Yeah, you know, so stuff like that.
Okay.
So I wrote in English exclusively, I think for like 4 or 5 years.
From 2010?
Before that, because I started writing around about 2008, 2009. So now, ngaze ngabhala ingoma yesiNdebele ngo-2012.
Awufuna ezakini ezesintwini by then.
You know, ngangakananzeleli something. And then I did this show. So by that time, ngangisasesikolo, yabo. Because I was fortunate to go to university in SA. So when I recorded ingoma zami lezi ezesikhiwa, I had songs like Recognition, I Make Music, and the first Ndebele song engangiyenzile kwakungithiwa nguzimali.
Okay.
You know.
Mali.
Yeah, ngenguzimali ebusuka ndlali, imali, you know, stuff like that.
Talk
Crazy stuff. So I get this opportunity to perform. It was Miss Fort Hair 2018. Yabo. And that was the first time I ever shared the stage with a really big artist because I performed right after the Soil.
Oh.
I mean, imagine at that time, the Soil in Dota is ngabo Sunday.
Amaphimbo
Boohle
amnandi.
bakhe, you know, how do you perform after such an artist? So mfika lapana and I do my all I'm asking for is recognition, you know. And I felt it was harder to connect to that crowd. Ngesikhiwo. The moment I switched and started to do uzimali mali, nginguzimali mali, ebusuku la, it was automatic, bro. The crowd went wild. And from that moment, and I'm not even lying, from that moment, I knew it is easier to connect with people in the language that they understand.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. So that's when I started writing more vernacular tracks. And then I switched.
So even ngalo varsity, you didn't say
Yeah.
I'm concentrating on my studies. Yeah, you were still pushing music at the same time.
A bit of both. Yeah, bro.
Okay. What were you studying that side?
I was doing accounting. It's kind of it's a scale. Yeah.
Vele was mali futhi. Oh, ikohlabela ngingoma ethi izimali mali. Ikohlabela ngingoma ethi izimali mali. Okay.
Hey.
Then how did it go that side? Waqhubeka. What made you come back here? Ndoda ungachiya ama lights ukuya nga.
Unfortunately, you know, it's student visa. It's expired or lazy. So my student visa expired, and I had to come back home at that point. Plus, kulokunye kwakumbisa vele lapha nkhaya, you know. So which is actually good that I did come back, because after I came back this side, that's when I then learned the other side of music, the production.
Oh.
I stopped just being an artist, but then also started to produce my own music and learn from the likes of Maseko, who passed on, you know, and greatest teacher that I ever had. Yeah, one. So
at Jose Dakongale, you learned with music. You can't connect with people in languages. What else did you learn with music?
What other lesson did I learn? I think especially from the East London circuit, what these guys did, they had a lot of these shows on Sundays. Saturdays. They would call them drum circles.
Okay.
It was quite interesting. It was a collection of things. Artists, poets, and mostly artists and poets. So there's drum circles, you know, showcases of your talent and stuff like that. You know, places, that's where I met people like Berita. You know, first time I met Berita was in East London in 2018. Big shows. Guys like MQ, you know the guy who did When the City Rains?
I think I know.
City Rains from back in 2017 or something like that. It was a big hit back then. It's still a big hit now. That's where I met guys like those. Okay. Amazing artists, bro. Amazing artists. Nah, no, not even.
Are you still MSIZKAY by then? Or also
I am MSIZKAY by then.
Or from what Sleepy Lippy or what something
not even
those
not
funny
even.
Names.
No, I like Kasi Wabayilo.
Okay, so how did the name MSIZKAY come about?
From Amachite Kasi, bro. Amachita, you know, Amachita. Usipho, ngeke ube ngusipho, kumele ube ngumsipho.
Anything anything elifike.
Yeah, so no, khona umjito wami nje okuthiwa nguSmidlozi laphana yabo. Dano, because mina ngingusiza lo Boohle, babembiza siza. Dano man. Khathele ngalokho. Yabona umlamuli ngumlakhara. Yabona la nini ngeke ngungakara la. Wena umsizikara.
Okay.
Yabo, so kwahlala isikhathi nje kwaqala baliqhuma nje wahlaba MSIZKAY. Kwahlala kunjalo.
Umphakathi walijabulela. Okay, then you came from SA this side. You got ukuxhumana khona labo
Maseko, KOD,
the late
Maseko, amazing producer, brother, you know. Hey.
How did you link up with Joe Virus?
Yes, through Virus. Virus, at the time, before I even went to SA, he had already introduced me to some people this side. Why introduced to Joe, why introduced to Vusa, Royal Sounds, which is where I recorded my first song, Recognition. So every December I would come back, and I don't know whether it's because Joe was actually closer, because I say Kwabalanda lapa. Every time I would come back the side, I would go to Joe and record a song. So over the years, while I was still in school, I would go and record 1 or 2 songs over the holiday.
Okay.
So in relationship line very corner at that time.
And what is influencing your music by then? What are you writing about?
Mostly, I think ngangi philosopher.
Okay, still conscious food.
Very conscious, bro. Ngangi philosopher, deep thinker. My music, I feel it used to be deeper than what it is now. Yeah, I was very deep in my thoughts back then. Yeah.
So you're coming with that mindset, and then you're working with Joe. How did that reflect on your music by then?
Yeah, that changed my life, man. That whole experience. Because I remember
Because
Joe is the person who actually encouraged me to sample a local artist. So we're talking with Joe. Joe says, no, you have only problem here, and I'm a fan of hip hop.
By then, vele ungumfana we hip hop.
Yeah, ufana be-hip hop, ifuna ukwenza into lezi ezi-America lizosenzela zona lapha. No, man. Nangu Majaivana lapha, he's got amazing songs. Sample one of his songs, take that and see how people will respond.
Okay.
So I go home, I have a headache, I listen to the whole album, Mega Love Moma Chaivana, and then I'm like, this song, let's see what we can do. And next thing you know, we had that song, Kumbula, which is actually the song that broke me into the music industry.
It was your breakthrough.
It was my breakthrough from conversations with Joe Maseko.
Joe changed and impacted a lot of lives.
Imagine that.
So in my kucheri ukuthi no isi hip hop and desibafana asispani when did you take it wawuya kuwe kuhle wawucabanga ukuthi umdala is old school or stuff like that? What is going on through your mind?
Yeah, because I was over boys. When you're young, you have your own ideas. And you're like, but I listened because of Joe. I had a lot of respect for him. So no, let me go sit down and do this. And it came out, bro. It came out so well. And now Lamshanje, look where we are because of one conversation.
We're here.
So from then, I then took a different approach to my music. A more approach include a traditional feel into the music, a fuser, this Africanness. It started from that conversation, from that. You see?
Okay. So your sound, how would you describe it again?
Yeah, well, it is a fusion of African music and this more modern hip hop and R&B sound. Yeah, well, so it's modern meets traditional.
Okay. Yeah. So sihlanganisa konke uvele kukhona ama elements ankhona.
Yeah, well.
Yes. Who are the people who are doing that currently in Zim, or it's ngokuphela ozibambileyo lapho?
I'm not really sure, but over the years I had a lot of people benjela ukuthi into yenzayo is different. It's different. Into yenzayo is different. So because I kept hearing that, and some even say, what do you call it? What do you call it? Ngaze ngayinike ibizo yabo. Ngayithi no, this is something Afro. It's something African. It's
something Afro.
It's something African. I don't know what you want to call it, because sometimes I also get nominations for awards, and someone says, "Are you hip hop?" Someone says, "Are you alternative?" Someone says, "Why are they putting you in this?" Because even I sometimes I just make music, bro. Put it out
how you're
there.
feeling it.
How I'm feeling it, and put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your music you're going to is something Afro.
It's something Afro.
So your sound is very unique. It sets you apart.
It's standalone. Yeah.
So now, who's inspiring you for music? Like you say, damn, when I heard this lady or this guy, the moment I get a microphone or the moment I hear the music, yeah.
Excuse me. Mostly I don't really have like influences and like to say this artist specifically, but I'm inspired by the music. Yeah, I can listen to one song from you, 2 songs from the next guy, 3 songs from the next lady, and but I don't really have. Maybe when I started out, back when I started out, guys like Kanye, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, obvious.
Those are the guys.
T.I. I can still sing word for word some songs because I was that much of a fan.
Okay.
You understand? So, but since then, I've moved away from that because, individuality, it's hard to maintain individuality if you then start to focus a lot of your attention on specific artists. But okay. I'm a big fan of specific sounds and feels in music. Writing, styles of writing. So I can tell you that people like Chris Martin is an amazing style of writing, Coldplay. I'm a big fan of bands, you know. Love a lot of bands. I listen to bands like One Republic, Coldplay, yeah, stuff like
Who would
that.
have thought?
Yeah, well,
MSIZKAY listens to Coldplay, MSIZKAY plays tennis. Hey, you're into a lot, cuz you're into a lot.
away.
So then how does MSIZKAY get to sit down and say, now I'm writing a song?
Hey, that's a tricky one. There's no real process. But one thing I will say is the process of writing a song requires you to actually sit down and write a song. Because if you do not do that, then you won't write the song. I can get beats sent to me by producers, or I can have ideas just pop up, you know, and then I work on the beats based on the lyrics that are already there in my mind. Yeah, but so the process, there's no real fixed process. Either way it works. I can flow in either direction. Yeah, but
So now with because lapha ngifuna ukuya khona ukuthi MSIZKAY love songs. MSIZKAY love songs. Who's this lady who broke your heart or who's making you feel good?
aye, boy. Music is expression, man, and you write what you know. Yeah, well. So with that in mind, what I hear from Amachita, what I see from my sister, Ekasi in my life, and stuff like that. Love is easy to write about, mostly because personally you've experienced it. You write what you know, or you've seen it happening to people around you. Yeah, well, I feel like
That's how you get your inspiration.
The idea comes, you're like, okay, what do I want to talk about here? I want to talk about how sometimes I want to see my girl, but I can spend a week in Ambonanga, you know, and then I'll be like, ish. Benfuna ukubona izulu kodwa ithuba ngilitholanga, you know. So ngicela ukubona lamuhla ngakashoni ilanga. Uyazi ngifuna ukubona nsuku zonke, you know, stuff like that. That's just saying what you know.
Feel, yes. What you know, what you feel, lose express. And the foot one senzela kube lulu khombisa kodwa. Just send a song. Why are you sending this one? That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling right now. Yes. So MSIZKAY 2017, 2018, that's from 2010 since what got to push up in the music industry. But 2017 and 2018 are your defining years.
Yeah.
How can you tell me the experience? How did you feel in those years?
It felt very different, you know. Of course, I recorded my first song in 2010.
Yes.
But for the next 4 years, I was in school. Yeah, so in that time, music was more of the thing that you do on the side. It wasn't like main focus. So 2014, when I came back the side and actually started working on production and doing stuff like for myself full time and actually giving music a real shot. Yeah, so I did that. I think the first song I did was Ndolwane Supersounds. Ndolwane Supersounds was, and still is, a lot of people's favorite. Even up to today, you get people come up to you and say, Ndolwane Supersounds, and you know, they do the whole thing and where they sing to you your own lyrics and then stuff like that. It's crazy, you know. So first time I produce a song, self-produce, self-record, do all that. It lands on the ZFM Bulawayo Top 10, which was being done by Gibson back then. You know, so I remember Kelvin Bebenga Kolo was number one at the time.
Kelvin?
Yeah, it was during that time. I'm like, okay, cool. First song I ever self-produced, it lands on that and goes all the way up to number 2. And a few weeks after the show was discontinued, unfortunately, you know. But that was for me like the thing that really gave me that confidence to say, no, I can do this, man, you know.
So it clearly is the first track that you're going to produce, that you produced for yourself.
Produced for myself, recorded, mixed, did all that, you know.
So but by then, I know 2010 and those years.
Yeah.
And music was not easy. To Goma Studio. Were there plenty studios like they are now?
Nah, no. There weren't.
So how are you going about through all this process?
Because at that time, actually, when I set out to start production, I was fortunate to link up with a friend who had come from SA with all the equipment. Yeah, so this guy called Ndebele in my hood there in Makwekwe West, He had bought the whole setup, the whole studio setup. But Mr. Ngube, like me, also wanted to learn the whole process, So we were learning together. So it was fun. It was an interesting time. There was a place to practice.
Okay.
This whole thing.
That's how you got lucky to overcome my constraints.
Not to mention, there was also Joe Maseko would be like, if ever, my guy, you don't understand anything, come and I'll show you.
Just come over. Okay, that's how it turned out to be. He believed in you. He believed in you.
He believed in me.
And by then, are you believing in yourself?
Not as much. Not as much. Not as much. But yeah, it keeps growing with time, Keeps growing with time. That confidence. And
when the news came about Joe passing on, how did you?
That was a shock. It's a shock because when someone is in your life, almost on a daily basis, when you hear that they're gone, the first instinct is to be like, nah, it's probably not true. Let me wait for a while. I'll probably hear someone say it's not true, But hey, yeah.
And then that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
And
bro.
Did it affect your music?
Yeah.
Or by then you had matured and developed, you felt like I can do it on my own?
It did a lot because at the time of Joe's passing, I was doing a lot of my recordings at his studio, And it took a while, like maybe a period of 3 to 6 months for me to, come back to a point where I can say, okay, now that's when only after that I then set up my own home studio, you see, to then start working from home.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you break your knee, you go to music, and then Joe passes on, and then you have your own studio.
Yeah.
So my challenges, they make you grow. That's what you're telling me.
True. That's the only way to grow, through the challenges that you meet along the way.
That you encounter on. So 2017, like taking it from there, 2017, 2018, MSIZKAY just...
It started happening.
Yeah. And you knew that time was going to come, or you were still saying, I'm looking at push.
You don't believe it at first. The first time you hear your song on radio, the first time you get your national interview. I remember 2016, that's when I got my first interview on national radio with DJ Mox, Star FM.
Oh.
You know that. So 2016, we do that with, the single was called Amafilium. And then 2017, we drop Bazovuma, and it does amazing on radio. It was unbelievable,
I remember Amafilium, you were carrying that big heavy camera. Is it the cover or what was it?
It was the cover, yeah.
The cover.
So Amafilium got so much airplay on Star FM that when DJ Mox was here doing Trade Fair in 2016, he actually reached out and said, could you kindly come down for an interview? So that was like something, wow, like, people actually want to hear this music, So if I tell you a strange story about how the song actually got on radio, you'll be surprised.
Talk to me. I like it exclusive. Have you told anyone?
Because I had a friend called Double PG.
Here's another exclusive.
Double PG used to.
Double PG, the tall slim nigga.
Yeah, Double PG used to want to be a radio DJ at a certain point in time. So Star FM had this competition where they would let individuals come on and DJ for like 5-minute set to like sort of audition, and then they would pick the overall winner or stuff like that. So when he went to do his 5-minute set, he played Amafilium on his 5-minute set. That was back in 2016. At that point, KVG hears the song. And then she communicates to him that, no, this is an amazing song. Who's the artist? Who did this? And then because of her interest, and we ended up linking up and meeting personally with her. And then we got the details of how to send the music to Star FM and get it playlisted. Less than a week later, the music was there and it was playlisted. It's
popping.
Just like that.
And what does the song Amafilium talk about? And what was the inspiration around it?
Amafilium, now at that time I'm just flossing.
Oh.
Yeah. At that time, I'm just flossing. But yeah.
Would Baboni summer film?
Yeah. Even in the floss, there's you dropping on jewels of wisdom, here and there, but I'm a feeling I was just flossing. It was just a good vibe,
Because the first time I heard your track was with, I think it was with Virus. MSIZKAY is dropping bars.
Oh yeah, sure.
So when I heard the switch, now MSIZKAY is doing the vocals and melodies. I was like, no, that's not the MSIZ I know. I was still enjoying the MSIZKAY who was a rapper. So that switch, I think it did good for you.
Yeah.
So now, tell me, how do you come up with these titles? Go dala kwami inkomo zamalobolo khaya lami izolo kuyahlangana amafilm MSIZKAY. How do you bring about these titles?
Yeah, that's a strange one, because when you're writing the song, you have to give it a name, So somewhere along the way, I think I heard someone say, if you want something to exist, you have to give it a name. So if it doesn't have a name, then it's not alive. You understand? So the name is very important. When the name that you give the song, it's very important.
It's very, very important.
It is to speak to whoever hears the name before they even hear the song. So try and pick the name from phrases in there, somewhere in the song. In the song. Mostly from the chorus.
And like the people, your family. When I say your family, I mean your fans. What do you think your music does to them? What's the impact of your music to the people who listen to you? And then you're like, wow, I didn't think it was going to come that way. What's the oh moment for you?
Yo, bro. Yeah. Every day, I'm surprised by how much people love the music. Every day, how much it affects people. Every day, there's not a day that goes by where I don't get a new tweet, a new Facebook mention, a new Instagram mention, every day you get someone who says, "My guy, your music is amazing. Your music changed my life." Like it still surprises me because I'm just being honest. I think that's what I'm doing in my music. I'm just being honest. Yeah.
And then I saw a picture online which was saying, MSIZKAY coming to our wedding.
Oh, yes.
So you actually be turned more when they hear your music.
Yeah, so you do that. You attend weddings, you attend even private functions. I've had some even weird requests,
Tell me about them. Tell me about yeah.
So you come to me and you say, I would love for you to have dinner with my girlfriend.
Okay, I wouldn't do that. No way.
But
no. Not Enkundleni Exclusive. You don't ask us to come and we can't ask you to be with No, we can't do that.
No, I know. I'm very professional. I'm very professional.
So niggas have asked you for that.
You do stuff like breakfast, can you have breakfast with my husband? I remember I did have breakfast with he's such a big fan of your music. Yes, he's such a big fan of your music. A conversation with you, just to sit down and break bread with him and have a chat. That would be amazing. Yes, you do that.
Do you know what you're saying to me?
Yeah.
You're saying the honey is asking you to come tell my husband how to what to say. Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
That's not it. The experience of
being with you, your
being
presence
with the person whose music they like.
Yeah,
so
I get you. And what else? Tell me more about you.
Yeah.
About what your fans say. Tell me more.
No, that's just about it.
And the ladies. Remember we were this other show, and then the lady was like, MSIZKAY, and then we were recording. You come by Trade Fair. Then the lady was like, MSIZKAY.
Oh yes,
started screaming and disturbing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then we were shocked. Is MSIZKAY this big now? So how is it with the ladies?
It's pretty wild because even now when you do shows, I think mostly it's because of the music. Maybe they connect better to it. All this love songs that we do, maybe they connect better to the music. They love it a lot, and you get a lot of my fans. Most of my fans are female. So it's a humble show. When you're done, it will take roughly an hour. If you don't say no now, that is enough. You'll spend an hour just taking selfies, afterwards.
And how are you handling that? Awubathatheli my chance MSIZKay.
No. Like I said, we are very professional.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, after you do that, kuzaba khona uchomo oyi-one ozathi jeki hamba phela susithathela abafazi bethu.
Okay. And you have those instances. And you have well, they're actually taking offense with the uchomdo seqedisha yonke imkhiphenda.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Umculo esiwenzayo uyabo ngasawenzanga umsebenzi wawo if ungahambanga waconnecta labantu, yabo.
Okay. So when I I know this one is a tricky one for me, but I want to know. I'm curious about it. I know your own music, but when you're not doing music, what are you doing?
Just chilling, man. Just having fun.
Where does MSIZKay go and chill? I want to know.
No, I'm more of I like to go and hang. I want to la machita, hang la machita. Yeah. But I'm mostly in the studio.
Yeah, that much I know.
The little time that I just want to hang and be with my family, be with Malanga, spend some time with my person, yeah.
Okay.
Be happy, nje. Yeah.
So when I'm on work, what is creating? Because what is creating this obsession in music? Why is music so much of your escape?
You can, you can reach so many people with music. I feel like maybe I'm one of those people who want to leave behind a legacy. Leave an impact. So I've had a lot of people, because I have an accounting degree, they come to me and say, why don't you go and find a job? But what they don't understand is I feel the impact I can have on the world from behind a desk and the one that I can have on the world from behind a microphone is very different. You understand? With the microphone and with the music, you can reach billions. You can actually share your story with billions.
With people.
So, yeah. So for me, I think the love for the music is the love of sharing. The love of sharing the experiences, the stories. So that's what links me with the music.
Okay. So vele MSIZKay, it's mostly music. My chilela majensi.
Which asiyaphola nje, a couple of drinks nyana. So sinyama,
And where's your favorite spot in town? Makasana.
My favorite spot, it's Makasana. We just hang. Chisanyama, we hang. Even ngale it's nearby. We say kasi. We keep it that vibe, kasi. You can't change. Can't buy that anywhere else.
So the chile la majensi la MSIZKay is buying booze for everyone. But
MSIZKay is buying booze for everyone.
I know I'm gonna be seeing pictures.
Yeah, and lile mali award.
Yeah, this time. No, I'm not saying this time like to you personally.
Yeah.
I'm saying you know
Yeah.
the mood that has been around in terms of awards, in terms of
always
performances and shows. How did you tackle that and how did you overcome it?
You partner up with the people that me I personally ngiyabe ngidinga ama-cheetah and institutions or organizations that put on shows that seemingly have interests are aligned with mine. So if I'm going to do performances and then at the end of the day end up saying worried sensiyakhuluma ezinye izinto online or social media or stuff like that,
yeah, because when checking online you're too clean. You never complain. You never show us your babe. So I don't think it means you've not come across those things. But I really want to know, how do you overcome those things and how do you manage to keep quiet? Because it has happened to you, hasn't it?
Definitely. It happens to everyone. It happens to all of us. You attend events, you salungeko satisfied. You become part of certain initiatives, you salungeko satisfied. But how you deal with it, manje, So I feel like most people like to publicize izinto. That's one way of doing it. Maybe it gets things done for them, But what I told myself was, if ever we have problems as a brand, we will try and deal with the people that we have a problem with directly, and not to put it in the public space, unless if totally, absolutely necessary, yeah.
So kulesikhathi nxa ungafika sizafika isikhathi sokuba necessary ukuthi MSIZKAY is going to lash out.
If it's absolutely necessary, then we put that thing in the public space. If it's not, then we'll come and deal with the individuals directly.
So that's how you've been handling it most.
That's how we've been handling all these things.
So MSIZKAY is into confrontation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would rather confront rather than go online. So what's your perception about those who really who get to go online and they lash out and they say their views? We're not saying they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, people have a right to say out. What's your perception of that one?
I feel it's okay. It's okay because someone has to do it. Someone has to do it, and with this industry, there's so many things going on. So many things. I can't really know everything about every sphere of it, like the behind the scenes, the what. So when someone has had an experience and they share it, I feel it is good because omunye umuntu la kahle nanzelele elimuke maybe in future, with nanzelela bro, there's this sort of organizers, they are not really good for business, or there's into ezinjalo. It actually is a very good thing.
Okay, and I understand. And looking at your image, Kaz, so shisa kula malanga.
Kakhulu.
Kakhulu. Yes. Particularly, I want to talk about the chain esentanyeni. We know what the chain represents. Are you communicating anything to us?
Yeah,
your chain.
Ukuthi thina singabantu abamnyama, and just like the music, the image also has to match the music. Modern meets traditional.
So tell me more about what it symbolizes.
For me, it symbolizes that. MSIZKAY is not only an artist, but also visual. It's not the music is being matched by the image.
Okay. And people are actually getting the message through your image?
I hope so.
Okay, so let's keep us MSIZKAY.
Yeah, that's personal branding, been trying to put this out so that they call it selling without selling. So everywhere the people see you, they see the name, you remind them without telling them, stuff like that.
I understand. MSIZKAY for the people.
For the people.
So tell me, cause like MSIZKAY for the people, and your image and your music communicating to people. You want to change lives. You want to impact lives. Do you participate in various community outreach programs and development programs?
Not as much as I would like. Yeah, I want to do more. I still need to do more. So mostly I'm stuck in the studio. I don't want to lie. So most of my work is in the studio with the production, behind the scenes production, and also with the writing and the recording and all the other sound engineering stuff. It keeps me a lot in the studio. But I would like to go out and do more with regards to social responsibility and being involved in community projects. I would really love to do more of that.
When you had if you have an opportunity to do outreach programs or development programs, which ones often
Yes, kunengi kakhulu. For me, mostly it would have to do with helping out those who are underprivileged. So like people who are in the community who are struggling. Give them hope, give them means to sustain themselves, projects and programs that can help them.
The reason why I'm particularly asking about that is because of your song, which won at the side competition.
Oh yes,
True. Yes. Tell me more about that song.
So
and how you got into that competition.
With that song specifically, it's actually based on a true story.
Oh
yes. So Enkundleni Lengane, there is a teenager in my hood. I think she was 14 when she got pregnant. So when you see stuff like that, like I'm saying, music is inspired by a lot of different things. So when you see stuff like that, it just one tinta, So I went and I wrote the song. Enkundleni Lengane, but now she's got a baby. So it's actually straight up exactly what happened. No source, no nothing. It's the truth.
That's what happened.
Based on a true story. So when the song was there, and then when Sight then put out the
An advert.
The advert to say if
Invitation,
you have
okay.
songs like these that sort of talk about social issues affecting the community, then it was not yet out yet. So at that time, we submitted it for the competition, and then what do you know? It connected with other people as well. You know.
And the song, did you manage to talk to the girl or the family of the girl, or did you manage to get involved?
Personally, I did not get involved because it was a family matter. They handled it, you know, as a family, and they solved it all internally, you know. But when you see it from the outside, you still have your own, you know.
But it still touched you.
Yes.
Oh, that's MSIZKAY for you. That's MSIZKAY for you. Balingoma zamaqiniso. Yes. So now tell me about Sandra Ndebele. I read when your article saying Sandra Ndebele, she has an influence on your music. She inspires you, something like that. Tell me more about the role Sandra Ndebele plays into you. Because
Sandra,
wait,
you know, gaming with sis, yeah.
Because you wrote a song about her. Yes, because you wrote a song about her.
Mina ngimbona njengo my sister, you know. She's like a sister to me. An amazing artist. And we did write a song about her. Me and KOT and Double PG, we did a song called Sandra Ndebele back in 2016.
What was the song about, Sandra? What was the song about? What were you saying about Sandra?
You know Sandra.
Yes, I want to know. I know Sandra.
Everyone knows
and the
Sandra.
Pictures.
And the pictures.
And the pictures.
Yeah, you know, just you know, a description of Boohle, you know. Yeah, Benvelo. Yeah. So fortunately, later on, the next year, I got a chance to, no, actually not the next year, 2 or 3 years later, I got a chance to actually then get in the studio with her, and we did a song, which was on my album Bashi Selwa that came out in 2019. Like, that was a blessing, bro.
And when you saw her, like, this is my celebrity crush, but I would say this is my sister. Siyalazi ngeke lingqile rope. And then you were like, first time suchayisana naye now we get starstruck. What happened?
Fortunately, we'd met a couple of times at shows, you know.
I want the first moment which
the first moment I met her.
Sandra.
Sure, man, that was something. I think the first time I met her was 2017. Sometime there around 2017, that's when I first met her. And then it was at a show. I was blown away, bro. Amazing performer, amazing artist. Like, what? You know? Yeah. Couldn't quite, you know, wrap my head around it. And then, yeah, I talked to some people, talked to her.
Okay, and then now you meet her, she's like, hi, MCs.
He was good. I'm push, you know.
Oh, it hit you. I thought now.
So, yeah.
All right, so, and you worked with her. How was the project today inside?
That was fun, man. That was fun. It was quite eye-opening. Yabona ukuthi nxa usujala usipana labanye abantu who are not as big, but it was the first time I worked with someone who's like has a national recognition, you know, into ezinjalo, even beyond these borders of ours. She already had that recognition. A hit maker, certified, amazing performer who has toured the world. That was an amazing experience, bro.
Nice.
You know, conversations that can change your life. You know,
she really had an impact also.
Yeah.
And also somebody who I came across who they play a role into your music. Simon Mambazo Piri. What role does he play in your music?
Mambazo. For me, is like a brother who's an advisor, you know, and we've worked on so many projects together. Putting out my first 2 albums, he was very involved with that.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
So he helps you through when it comes to production.
When it comes to, like, you know, for instance, with
that's what I want to understand.
With Ubazo Vuma, right? I think we had 30 songs.
30?
Yeah. Wanted to put out a 16-track album. So I've made all the songs, like 30 songs. We go to Mambazo. We like, bro, this is what I've made. I'm planning to put this out. Let me know what you're feeling about which songs. And then he will come back to me and be like, nah. Yes. You know, and stuff like that. We would sit together to pick out the singles. You know, say, Dalawam Sesemgan, that's definitely a single. Nkoma Zamalobolo, that's definitely a single. You need to perform that at when we launched the album, there was an event called 11/11. So you definitely need to perform that song. Then we'll showcase this one as a video, stuff like that. We'd sit and plan together, and then
So it's more like a creative director to you.
Stuff like that. Exactly. Creative director.
So with creative directors, there's a lot of arguments that get to go on. Do you get the chance to argue with him, or you just listen and say, "Man,
we do get chances to argue because you've made the music, and then he's hearing it. But at the same time, we listen to each other because at the end of the day, if we don't,
yes, I wouldn't dare
Puma. Because imagine there's 30 songs. So same thing when with Bashi Selo, another 30 songs. Where we at right now for the next album, I'm sure I've made over 50 songs, but I only want to do a 16-track album.
Oh,
so it becomes hard to pick which songs to put on the album.
Oh, then the Ngokwakithi Lokho got this hype, and the reception. How was it compared to hype that was there, and the reception? How did it go?
For me, Ngokwakithi Lokho is one of those songs
because everyone was anticipating it.
It was to say a statement. It was more about the message and less about how it's going to be received. So you put it out there for people to just enjoy. Just enjoy this with me. Personally, when I first worked on it, it was supposed to be dropped on the 20th of June, which is my birthday. So unfortunately, due to scheduling things and whatnot, it had to be dropped later. So when it came out, it had lost really that whole point that I was trying to put across. I am now this old. This is what I do. So it's just a statement of saying, I make music. That's what I do. And I have no doubt that this is what I'm here for.
This is what you, I understand.
That's my purpose.
I understand. Like taking you back a little, and then the late Calvin, I heard you also worked together and you became close on some projects. How was the experience working with the legendary Vin?
Uvin, he was someone owamfundisa a lot about using the momentum of the moment. Uvin, he didn't really used to write per se. So I don't know if many people had different experiences with him, but when I was with him in the studio, Kelvin would rather listen to a song, spend an hour just listening to a beat. And then when he actually gets up to go on the mic, he knows exactly that it was a different way of working. So you're like, okay, cool. The song is done when the song is done. Take your time with it. Don't rush. Let the ideas grow and come to you. So I learned that with Vin.
Shout out to Vin. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Definitely.
Yes. Rounding up now. Give me 3 producers that you say they're killing it locally. When I say local, I don't mean Bulawai. I mean Zim.
Let's take
your best
from Gobulawayo. I actually have collaborated with a couple of producers on my upcoming album. I have worked with.
I want your top 3.
Cosmos. You know Cosmos? All right. Cosmos produces for Fish F Ndaramu.
Oh, I know Fish.
He has produced for Fish F Ndaramu. He's an amazing producer. He's one of the producers that are going to feature on the upcoming album. And then I did do something recently with Larynx. He's an amazing producer. And one of my other favorite producers from the city, although I have not yet had a chance to work with him, is Muffy Cubic. Oh, amazing producer.
Amazing producer.
Yeah.
All right. In rounding up, can you tell your bae something nice? I just want you to round up with that one. Uvaleli Sumama, because Msiz is a lover guy.
Yeah, baby. Ngilapha Deb 3.
Enkundleni Exclusive.
Enkundleni Exclusive. Hello from the other side.
Ngicela ngevocal nokumvalelisa usivalelise. Ngiyakwazi ukwahlabela before, but ngicela ukuthi umvalelise ngevocal.
Just for yena nje.
Yeah, just for yena.
Hey madoda.
Not for, yes, I know my fans, but this one is for her.
Uzayibona what Ndolwane.
Definitely she will.
No, I'm kidding. She's definitely gonna say this. So this is for Nomalanga, you know. Kunini ngicula ngoNomalanga lo. Nguyophethe inhliziyo lo Nomalanga lo. Kunini ngicula ngoNomalanga lo. Nguyophethe inhliziyo lo Nomalanga lo.
Thank you kazi. Yes. Then for me khona phana nyajinji Nomalanga ku vocal leyana uzazifaka wena sweet wami uyazazi. Thank you nyabonga Enkundleni Exclusive. My name is Ndebele and this is Enkundleni Exclusive, the info show. Namhlanje ngiphethe isitayela sonke MSIZKAY. This is a show by Deb3 Events and ORG Media. Bese styleni. Don't forget to like our Facebook page. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe and also definitely leave a comment. Thank you nyabonga. Show.